Court will resume this morning in the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell after it had to end early yesterday because one of the lead prosecutors had a death in the family.
Vallow is accused of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and also grand theft in the deaths of her two kids, JJ and Tylee, and also her husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. Her husband, Chad, is also charged in these murders. He's being tried separately. Wednesday was the third day that jurors heard from witnesses and saw evidence.
Multiple law enforcement officers took the stand, and Morgan Romero gives a full recap of what happened on day 8.
Tuesday was filled with heavy testimony and evidence around how law enforcement found Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow's bodies, leaving many in the courtroom, including some jurors, distraught. Wednesday brought more testimony from the lead detective in the case, Ray Hermosillo with Rexburg PD, as the defense cross-examined him.
This is a photograph of the burial spot where the rocks had been removed already, right?
Hermosillo was part of the team that found the children's bodies buried in Chad Daybell's backyard on June 9, 2020. One of Lori Vallow's defense attorneys, John Thomas, asked Hermosillo specifics about who was at the burial site and who found Tylee's skull and teeth there.
Were you the one that recovered them?
No, sir.
Who was the one that recovered those?
I don't recall who exactly it was that recovered them.
Okay, how did you come to the knowledge that there were some that were found?
Because I was there on scene.
Okay. But you don't know who found them, and you don't know when they were found?
No, sir.
The prosecution then questioned Hermosillo again in a process called redirect.
Yesterday, defense counsel asked you about a conversation that led you to take steps to get a warrant, correct?
Correct.
And you mentioned a Melanie Gibb, correct?
That's correct.
What was the conversation that led you to contacting Melanie Gibb?
When Lori Vallow was contacted by Lieutenant Ron Ball and Detective Dave Stubbs, she stated that JJ Vallow was with Melanie Gibb in Arizona. Immediately we attempted to call Melanie, and she didn't answer the phone. They went back to the residence, made contact again with Lori Vallow, and she stated that JJ wanted to go see a movie, Frozen 2, and that Melanie Gibb had taken JJ to the movie to see Frozen 2, so that's why they weren't answering the cell phone.
And to your knowledge, were you or other law enforcement able to get into contact with Melanie Gibb eventually?
Yes, we were.
Okay. And did she have JJ?
No, she did not.
And is that what led you to get a warrant the next day?
That's correct.
Throughout testimony, Vallow was taking notes.
All right, the state can call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state will call Lieutenant Jared Wilmore.
Wilmore is a captain over the Madison County Jail and monitors phone calls and video visits within the jail. The prosecution played the phone call between Lori and Chad on June 9th.
This is a call from and paid for by Lori, an inmate at Madison County Jail.
When Chad told her police were searching his property.
I'm glad you called. So we'll see what transpires. What? Yeah, Frank. Right.
The prosecution then called its last witness of the day,
The state now calls Joe Powell.
a lieutenant with the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. Powell went over how he got involved in the investigation into Daybell's wife, Tammy's death. He said police in Arizona called him to help them track down the car seen when Brandon Boudreau, Vallow's niece's ex-husband, was shot at in Arizona. Boudreau believes Vallow's brother Alex Cox did it. Lieutenant Powell said he started uncovering more about Cox and Vallow, who had just moved to Rexburg, as well as their connection with Daybell. Powell testified he worked with other law enforcement to dig up Tammy Daybell's body in December of 2019, about 3 months after she died.
As a result of your investigation, was a decision made to exhume Tamara Daybell's body?
Yes.
What facts for you played into the decision to exhume her?
She was healthy, her age. There was no sign of heart or blood pressure.
Again, Your Honor, I'm going to object. He's now talking about her medical diagnoses.
That's overruled. You can continue to answer.
And with her husband being with another lady so soon after.
Prosecutors revealed for the first time this week Tammy died by asphyxiation. On Wednesday, the courtroom was shown photos of Tammy's body when the casket was opened. During cross-examination, Vallow's defense asked if he was aware of where Lori Vallow was when Tammy died.
Would it surprise you to know that she was in Hawaii?
No.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
As we've reported, Vallow says she has an alibi in the deaths of Tammy, Tylee, and JJ. She claims she wasn't there when they all died. Vallow says she was in her Rexburg apartment with other people, while her children were murdered at Cox's neighboring apartment. One of the lead prosecutors in this case lost a family member, so by 10:45 a.m. Wednesday, court adjourned for the day.
Again, the trial will pick back up this morning at 8:30.
And also, the judge announced on Wednesday trial will not be held this Monday, the 17th.
Now, if you want even more behind-the-scenes coverage of the trial, you can check out our YouTube and KTVB Plus streaming show. It's called Lori Vallow Inside the Courtroom. The latest episode is about opening arguments and the first 2 witnesses called to the stand this week.
For live updates from the trial, just check out our website throughout the next 2 months. And for all of our coverage, scan the QR code on your screen or check out our website, ktvb.com, the app, or KTVB Plus.